Everyone. Welcome to the lectures series on Indian polity, the newest edition, that is the sixth edition by M. Lakshmikant. Today's topic is Fundamental Rights Part 2. Myself, Nidhin K. Biju. I have cleared the Civil Service Mains and the Indian Forest Service Mains this year. I have attended the Indian Forest Service interview and I am awaiting to attend the Civil Service interview this year. Now, coming to the topic, as we all know, in yesterday's video, we have discussed about the introduction to fundamental rights, the features of fundamental rights, as well as we have discussed the articles 12 and 13. Today, we'll be discussing about two articles, Article 14 and Article 15. So before that, I want you guys to pause the video for a second and just read the question here. We'll be coming back to this question after we discuss the topic. Coming to Article 14. Article 14 reads that the state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. So here there are two concepts which are very important: equality before law and equal protection of the laws, which we'll be discussing in the coming slides. Now, Article 14 confers rights on all persons, whether citizens or foreigners. Yesterday we had discussed that there are some fundamental rights which are given equally to both citizens as well as foreigners, and there are certain rights which are available only to citizens. So Article 14 is available to all persons. It can be citizens, it can be foreigners, and it can even include legal persons. Who are legal persons? They are the statutory corporations, companies, the registered society, or any other type of legal persons. So, in short, Article 14 is available to all persons. Now, as we talked about the concepts earlier, we'll see the difference between the two concepts. What is equality before law and what is equal protection of laws? Coming to equality before law, it is a concept which is of British origin. It refers to the absence of any special privileges in favor of any person. It is a negative concept in the sense that it says that no one should be given any privileges. That negativity, no one should be given any privileges. So that kind of an idea, that kind of a concept is called as negative concept in political terms. Right. Now coming to equal protection of laws. Equal protection of laws is a concept of American origin. It says that the equality of treatment should be under equal circumstances. It says that the likes should be treated likely. The different people, the likes and the unlikes, should not be treated equally. This is the concept here. In simple terms, the rich man and the poor man should not be treated equally because they are not economically equally, right? So this is a positive concept. A positive concept. Why it is a positive concept? It is a positive concept because it empowers the state to provide special provisions for the weaker sections. For example, in India, you can see that reservation seems to be against equality because it is conferring some privileges on some sections of the society, but it comes under equal protection of laws as the equals are treated equally, right? So this is the two concepts which are very important, especially for the mains examination. Now coming to rule of law by A.V. Dicey. The Article 14, as we have seen here, in this concept, we have read about equality before law, right? This equality before law, we have taken it from A.V. Dicey. A.V. Dicey's rule of law. Let us see what is rule of law by A.V. Dicey. A.V. Dicey's rule of law actually talks about three things. One is the absence of arbitrary power. That is, no one should be punished except for a breach of law. So rule of law says that there is a law, a person will be punished only if he breaches any one of the law. And if a person doesn't breach any of the law, then he can't be punished. That is, there can't be any arbitrary power. Now the second aspect is equality before law. That is equal subjection of all citizens before the law. So this is the part which we have taken to in our constitution. in Article 14, equality before law and equal protection of laws. So this equality of law comes from the rule of law concept of A.V. Dicey. Now the third aspect is the primacy of the rights of the individual. That is, the constitution is the result of the rights of the individual. This is a concept which says that the rights of the individuals are more important than the constitution itself. It says that the constitution is the result of the rights of individuals. So in India this is not the case, but A.V. Dicey, he's a British jurist. So as we all know, in western societies individualism is placed a higher preference, a higher primacy over even the laws, right? uh, so here so that is what here it is being talking about, the primacy of the rights of the individuals, and the constitution is a result of the rights of the individuals. Now coming to the Indian scenario, only the first and the second aspect of rule of law, that is the absence of arbitrary power and equality before the law, are applicable to India. But the third concept is not applicable to India. In India, constitution is the source of the right of the individuals. So in India, the concept is reversed, right? So the first and second concept of A.V. Dicey is applicable in India. Now continuing further, the Supreme Court has held that rule of law as embodied in Article 14, it is a basic feature of the Constitution. Yesterday we have seen that none of the fundamental rights which are a part of the basic structure can be amended by the Constitution. They are permanent in nature. So rule of law under Article 14 is a part of the basic structure of the basic feature or basic structure of the Indian Constitution. Also, as we have seen yesterday in the features of fundamental rights, we have seen that the rule of there are the fundamental rights are not absolute, but they are qualified, right? So here also there are some exceptions to the fundamental rights, exceptions to the rule of equality before law, which are, like, for some people like the president, the governor, the United Nations officials, the diplomats, etc., they enjoy special privileges due to their positions. So these are the exceptions to the rule of rule of equality before law under Article 14. Okay. Now, as we have seen the rule of law by A.V. Dicey, we will come back to the practice question which we have mentioned earlier. So let us read the statement. Consider the following statements about rule of law. First, it is propounded by A.V. Dicey and is completely applicable in India. Second, rule of law is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Third, it gives primacy to the individual rights over the Constitution. Which of the above statements are correct? So coming to the first statement, it is propounded by A.V. Dicey. Yes, true. But and is completely applicable in India. Is it completely applicable in India? No, right? Only the first two parts of the rule of law is applicable in India. The third part, the primacy of the rights of the individual, that part is not applicable in India. So statement 1 is wrong. Now the second statement, rule of law is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. Yes, we have seen that the Supreme Court told that rule of law is a part of the basic structure of the Constitution. True. Second statement is true. The third statement, it gives primacy to the individual rights over the Constitution. So the rule of law as set by A.V. Dicey, it gives primacy to the individual rights over the Constitution, right? The third statement of rule of law by A.V. Dicey says that individual rights are primary, right? So third statement is also correct. So 1 is wrong, 2 is right, and 3 is right. So 2 and 3. So option C becomes the answer here. The answer is option C. So that is the end of Article 14. Now coming to Article 15. Article 15 of the Indian Constitution. It is also based on against discrimination. The state shall not discriminate against any citizen on the ground of only religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth. Also, the second provision of the article reads that no citizen shall be subjected to any disability, liability, restrictions, or conditions on ground only of the same things: religion, race, caste, sex, or place of birth, with regard to access of shops, public restaurants, hotels, places of public entertainment, use of wells, tanks, bathing carts, roads and places of public resort, and maintained wholly or partly by the state funds or dedicated to the use of general public. So here the first statement, the first provision says that the state shall not discriminate. So it is a limitation on the state. But the second provision, it it is applicable for state as well as private individuals. A private individual also cannot stop another person from accessing a shop or a public well or so. So the first provision, state is only for the state, and the second provision, both for the state and the private individual. Now, as usual, the fundamental rights are not absolute but qualified, which implies that there can be some exceptions to it. Similarly, there are four exceptions to this rule. The first exception is the state can make some special provision for women and children. Okay, the second provision is the state can make special provision for the backward classes of the citizens and the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes. So it's for the SC, ST and the OBC. So as we have seen, there are reservations, etc. and all. So this is another exception for Article 15. Now coming to the third exception. The third exception is also for SC, ST and backward classes, but here it is more specific regarding educational institutions. So they can be provided special privileges, special provision of reservation in educational institutions, including the private educational institution, but there is a limitation. There can't be any reservation in this minority educational institutions. So that is the third exception. Now coming to the last exception and the newest addition, the state is empowered to make any special provisions for the advancement of economically weaker sections of the citizens. As we all know, this is a very important aspect because it was in current affairs. As we already know, the 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act of 2019 provides 10% reservation to the economically weaker sections of the society. So this article D, the exception, fourth exception, is a part of the recent addition to the constitution through a constitutional amendment act. The amendment should be remembered. It is 103. So that is all about today's lesson. Tomorrow we'll be continuing with the fundamental rights starting from Article 16 and all. So if you have liked the video and if you want me to continue making more videos like this, please like, subscribe and press the bell icon for instant updates. Thank you so much.